Hi there, dear loving soul. Welcome back to this channel and to part 2 of the video series on engaging with your baby during pregnancy, communicating with your baby, and practicing some love towards your baby during that initial phase, that pregnancy stage. Now let's get into the Holy Trinity of Love in my world, which is all about thinking love, speaking love, and doing love, and using that framework to just unpack some of the universal laws that I've just discussed in part 1, and to talk about, some practical tips as to how we can practice love towards the baby during the pregnancy stage. So what I did, I wrote out a couple of things that I used to do when I was pregnant, as well as what the loved ones around me used to do. Because as I mentioned in part 1, this is not just, the video series is not just targeting mama or ladies, pregnant ladies. This video can actually be used by other people in the baby's life, or it could be used as a future reference for some of you who might be thinking of having babies in the future. You might be inspired by this video series to kind of have some tips up your sleeve as to what you may wish to do when you find out that you're going to have a baby. So the first one is all about thinking love. Now, this first one, I am going to talk all about the internal communication, and of course that is directly relevant to mama bears. So this is the pregnant ladies, mamas out there. Why? Because in universal law is the first one that I want to talk about, that I mentioned in part 1, which is that one web of connections. Yes, we are all universally connected, every single individual, every single soul, every single matter, but in physical format, when we're in physical format and on this planet Earth, it's the most direct, united connection between two individuals at any one point, which is when you have the little one, literally their full whole self is within the physical body of the mother. And I think that's a huge opportunity to be able to communicate with your wee one using your intelligence, using your brain. So having that internal communication with the little one, so directing your thoughts to them, as well as sharing your emotions, being mindful of your emotions, what you're experiencing, and understanding that all of that has an impact on your wee one, because you're one whole self at that point in time. And obviously anything that happens to you physically as well has an impact on your wee one, right? So if you're undertaking some physical exercise, your heart is pumping the blood all around your body, getting that oxygen in. Obviously your child is also benefiting, your little one is benefiting from that activity. And I do recall specifically having internal communication about everything that is going on. So that could be, you could be engaging about what you're wanting to have for your next meal, or what you want to cook for dinner, engaging during the cooking process, just kind of talking through what you're doing to the little one in your mind. You might be catching a public transport on your way to work, just as an example. So there's an opportunity for you to have that conversation with your wee one like a friend, like a bestest friend, because they're literally inside you. I do recall having conversations during my work. I was in an office and trying a computer, doing lots of thinking and writing and whatnot, and I recall one particular time I was stuck a little bit on a particular question. I was pondering about some solutions, and so I engaged with my little one and be like, hey, this is the problem I'm trying to solve right now. What do you think? And you not, excuse me, I instantly had like 2 or 3 thoughts bubble up in my head, and I was like, thank you, little one. As in, like, thank you for giving me some inspiration. Thank you for sending your thoughts and your energy towards literally me, for me to be receptive of those thoughts. So you can have internal communication about anything with your little one, just a matter of sending the intention to your wee one, as if you're having that conversation with them, just like you would with any other physical individual outside of you. Now, the second thing about thinking love, I speak a lot about on this channel, and that's prayer, because I think a prayer is an act of love in anyone's life. It's an act of love, and so the prayer can be done by anybody, right? Not just mother figures. So praying for the health and the growth and the learning and development of the wee one, as well as the mum as a whole, because they're one whole at that point in time. Praying for their everything is going well, exactly the way it's meant to, smooth progression, everything is happening in divine timing as it should. So just sending those positive praying thoughts to the mother, to the baby, but also addressing your ascended masters, whoever you believe in, addressing God, addressing your ancestors, angels, guardian angels, including you could address the guardian angels and spirit guides of the wee one that's inside a mama bear's tummy. So you can connect with those energies as well, ask for some support, ask for guidance. If something is going on during pregnancy and you might be overthinking some things or stressing about something or unsure about something, do not forget to connect with the energies of the spirit world, pray for it, and trust in the universe to actually send you the physical signs, that custom-made advice that you need to hear in order to be able to help the wee one or the mother during the pregnancy phase. And when in doubt, as I always say, put the hand on your heart. The heart is the bridge between the spiritual world and the spiritual body as well as the physical body. Put your hand on your heart and let the answers come through. Whatever comes through, whether it's in visual form, audible form, or messages in the music that you're listening to, or book you're reading, or pop up on your phone, whatever it might be, trust in that you will know innately and intuitively what the response actually is. What is it that you ought to do? Or what's the best thing you could do? Now, if we think about speaking love, obviously anything that you think or you pray, you can obviously say it out loud, but it's very important, and I do recall doing this, for your little one to hear your voice as well as the voice of the community around, right? The dead figure, grandparents, aunts, uncles, siblings, whoever it might be, who might be in their life literally after they're born. So talk out loud. Talk about what you're cooking, talk about what you're about to eat, talk about what you're about to do, talk about the weather, talk about any holidays that are coming up or vacations, your plans, whatever it is that you're doing. Speak to them as if they are your best friend. You may wish to read books out loud, and I think that's a lovely activity. You may wish to sing as well if you're drawn to sing. For those of you who might be very talented at playing musical instruments, play some musical instrument, right? And this advice obviously is directed at both, moms and other people in the baby's life, dads, grandparents, cousins, whoever. Now, something I used to also do is say goodnight to my little one, because I thought innately, and I think it actually helped, it taught her as to the rhythm of the day. So in the mornings we wake up, we say good morning, we go through our day, and then we wrap up towards the evening, we head to bed, we say good night. And so I was very vocal, both in my mind. Sometimes I would think it, or sometimes I would say it out loud when we lie down on the bed. I would address the little one to say, right, it's evening time, it's night time, it's time to sleep. Good night, little one, you're very welcome to sleep. And I actually felt a difference, because when the little one used to kick quite a lot, second, third trimester, I genuinely felt like there was a huge difference after I informed her that, hey, it's night time, it's time to sleep. I genuinely feel like she would fall asleep and stop the kicking, as an old activity has subsided and it's now time to sleep. And that helped obviously when she was born, because continuing with that practice of good morning, good evening, good night, etc. The memory is there, it's already embedded, it's instilled. And that's what I like about the beauty of speaking out loud, that it's not just when mamas do this can be done by the dad figures, the father figures, and anybody else in the life of that beautiful little baby. And the last thing I wanted to delve into in terms of speaking love is touching upon the free choice universal law that we discussed in part 1, and specifically about how Obviously, pre-incarnation, there was a, like a option, I guess, or a choice in front of the little one or their soul as to who to choose, whom they would wish to choose as parents, to make sure that they get the attributes, the qualities, the talents, the DNA framework, the coding, etc., that is best suited and aligned with whatever it is that they wish to achieve during this lifetime or to experience. And I think it's very important to be, as a parent, that guardian, to be thankful to your soul, to that little soul, for choosing you as their guardian. I genuinely think it's an honor, honor to be a parent. It's, a lot of responsibility, of course. But remember, you're a guardian, and somebody has picked you as their guardian, as their mentor, to walk through the life journey hand in hand or side by side, and to experience the life together. I think there needs to be that gratitude and thankfulness to the little ones for having picked you as their mum and dad, grandparent, whatever. And I think it's important to speak that love to the little soul that's inside the mama's tummy, and just say thanks, thanks for being here, thanks for being a part of us already, even though you're on the inside. And so let's talk about doing love. So there's a bunch of things that one can do in order to engage and communicate and practice love towards your baby during pregnancy. And I'll just look through my list if you don't mind. So remember, this is touching upon the third universal law that we discussed, the role of the parent, which in my view I see as a guardian. You're equivalent to the spirit guides or guardian angels that are in spiritual form. Here we are in the physical form. We're a guardian for the baby. And obviously when the baby's inside the mama, there's a bunch of things that you can do together. If you're a mum, obviously you're intertwined, you do things together. I treated that experience as like we are best friends, and I still call my daughter my girlfriend sometimes, just because we literally did everything together, including, as an example, having showers together, or taking a bath, a relaxing bath, and going to bed obviously together, so verbalizing that nighttime routine, good night, or waking up in the morning and engaging with her in the morning, that it's time to wake up, it's time to do something, to keep on growing, keep on developing. And you go to the bathroom together as well if you're mama bear. Yes, that's a given. You don't usually, as an adult, go to the bathroom and use the bathroom facilities with another person literally inside you. Obviously you can dance and sing together, have some fun, be playful, read books, listen to music, as I mentioned before, or play a musical instrument. You can do painting, you can get creative. Photography is a really fun time during that phase, just to snapshot and create some memories as to your growth, physical growth together. And there's a bunch of other activities obviously that one can do. And I think during every single one of those activities, anytime you do something, cooking, I mentioned cooking before, there is an opportunity for you to have that internal communication if you're a mama bear, as well as external speaking and communication, whether you're the mama or somebody else in the baby's life, right? So any single activity presents you with that opportunity. And speaking about that community involvement, the last bit I want to talk about in terms of doing love is that I truly believe it takes a village to raise a kid, and there's a good reason for it. Remember, the little one is a loving soul, and they have the freedom of choice. They chose to incarnate into this lifetime in order to experience what's it like to be on planet Earth, to experience engaging with other individuals, face certain circumstances, milestones, challenges, learnings, etc. And so there's a good reason why it takes a village to raise a child. The kid needs to have multiple relationships and dynamics in their lifetime. And so I think that kicks off right from the get-go, right from the start. There's an opportunity for the loved ones, for the friends, to be involved in the life of the baby, and that includes even physical touch, physically touching the belly of the mum with respect, of course. And as I mentioned before, you might be speaking out loud, or you could even be praying for them, whether that's internally or externally, it's up to you. As well as, you might be inspired. So I'm just saying, I'm literally visualizing like somebody writing a letter. That's something you may wish to do as a mum or dad figure or grandparent or aunt and uncle, that you might be willing to record pregnancy in written form. Or you could be, one way of engaging with the little one is as if you're writing a letter to their unborn baby just yet. You may wish to do that and send that letter. You may ask the mum to read it out loud so that the message goes through one to one. That's something you may wish to do. So looking now, the time's running out. Don't want to expand this video series for too long. I appreciate everyone's time here on planet Earth is valuable. And let's just jump into part 3 in order to receive some beautiful messages from the spirit world about this topic. I'm actually really excited to see what they've got to say. Click on the link below for part 3 and I will see you shortly.